Hi friends, and welcome to one more tutorial here on my channel. And today's tutorial is this it's a cupcake holder, or you can also use it as like a mini basket or whatever you would like to use it for. But I designed it to be a cupcake holder and I think it came out pretty cute and it's super easy to make. Let me go ahead and let me show you how to do it. But first, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new here and hit that bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new tutorial. So let's go ahead and let me show you what you're going to need. We are going to use 3 colors of a 4 medium yarn. I used acrylic yarn in red, blue, and white. And you can make it to other occasions, and if you do, you just need to change the colors. But I think for 4th of July it came out pretty quickly with this combination. And you are also going to use a tapestry needle, pair of scissors, and a 5mm hook. You can start with the red if you would like to, but I'm going to start mine with the blue, and I will make this design right here. So to start the project, we are going to make 1 magic ring and chain 1. This chain 1 is not a stitch, and inside this ring we are going to work 6 single crochets. So insert the hook inside the ring, pull up a loop. Once you have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Repeat 5 more times. So 2, 3. Once you have 6, find that tail, pull it tight and close the ring. Slip stitch on the very first stitch. For the second round, we are going to work increase all around. Chain 1. This chain 1 will not count as a stitch. Go back to the same stitch and work 2 single crochets on the same stitch. On the next stitch, work another 2 single crochets. On the next one, 2 single crochets on the same stitch, and just keep working that way until you get to the end of this round. And you should have 12 single crochets. Once you get at the end of the round, just go ahead and slip stitch on the very first single crochet. For the third round, chain 1, and this chain 1 is not a stitch. Go back to the same stitch and work 1 single crochet. On the next stitch, work 2 single crochets together. Now we are going to work this way for the whole round. 1 single crochet, increase on the next one. So 1 and 2 single crochets on the same stitch. In the next one, 1 single crochet. On the next one, work and increase 2 single crochets on the same stitch, and keep working this way until you get to the end of the round. Once you get at the end of the round, you should have 18 single crochets. Go ahead and slip stitch on the very first stitch. And we are going to work one last round for the bottom of it. So chain 1, not a single crochet. Go back to the same stitch and work 1 single crochet. On the next stitch, another single crochet. On the third one, work and increase. On the next one single crochet. On the next, one single crochet. On the next one increase, which means 2 single crochets on the same stitch. So this is how we are going to repeat the whole round. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, all around until we get at the end of this round. And once again, once you get at the end of the round, just slip stitch on the very first stitch. Now we are done with the bottom of the cupcake holder. Go ahead and chain 1. This chain 1 will not count as a stitch. And now we are going to work one round of single crochets with no increases, but we are going to work on the back loop only. So we have both loops right here, but we are going to insert the hook between those both loops and grab only the back loop. So start on the very first stitch, work 1 single crochet, back loop only. On the second stitch, the same thing. Instead of inserting your hook this way, insert the hook between both loops and grab only the real one, the back one, and create 1 single crochet. Another single crochet. On the next one, another single crochet, and just keep working this way, 1 single crochet for each stitch of the previous round, but working on the back loop only. Once you get at the end of the round, just go ahead and slip stitch on the top of the very first single crochet, chain 1, that doesn't count as a stitch. And now we are going to make another round of single crochets, but working, grabbing both loops. On the previous one, we grabbed just the back loop, but on this one, we are just going to work a regular round of single crochets. So go ahead and work 1 single crochet on the first stitch, another single crochet on the next one, another single crochet, and just keep working this way until you get at the end of this round. I got here at the end of this round, and now it's time to change the color. So we are going to start the shell stitch right here. Go ahead and insert the hook on the very first stitch, but instead of grabbing the blue color, go ahead and grab the new color that you're going to work with. That can be red or that also can be white. It's up to you. I am going to introduce my red yarn, chain 1, and now I'm going to skip 1 stitch and work 1 5 double crochet shell stitch on the next one. So go ahead and yarn over, skip 1 stitch, and on the next one work 5 double crochets on the same stitch. So I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip the next stitch, slip stitch on the next one. Now skip another stitch, and on the next one work another 5 double crochets shell stitch, 2, 3, 4, skip the next stitch and slip stitch on the next one. Now again, skip the next stitch on the next one, or case shell. And the shell will be 5 double crochets on the same stitch. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip the next stitch, slip stitch on the next one. So just keep repeating that until you get at the end of this round. Once you get at the end of the round, you should have one stitch left after you work your last shell stitch. So go ahead and skip that stitch, go back to that very first stitch and slip stitch. So now we are going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3 times, and then we are going to change the color. So 1, 2, and 3, but on this one right here, now it's time to change the color. I am going to introduce my white color, chain 1, just to hold it in place. It's not a stitch. And now we are going to work shell stitch around, but we are going to start working on right in the middle right here where we slip stitched on the previous round. This is where we are going to work our shell stitch. So go ahead and yarn over, insert the hook between both those red shell stitches and work 5 double crochets on the same stitch. Now we are going to skip 1, 2 and slip stitch on the third stitch, which is right in the middle of the shell stitch. Now we are going to yarn over again and again work a shell stitch on that single crochet from the previous round. So work 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches, slip stitch on the next one. So this is how your project should look like right now. What you just need to do is just keep working on your shell stitches with the white yarn the same way that we worked those 2 first ones until you get to the end of the round. Once you work the last shell stitch, you are going to slip stitch on the very first chain that we did at the beginning, but instead of pull up the same white color, we are going to go back to the blue, or you can use the red as well, but I'm trying to make a contrast and use the same color that I put on the bottom, so I'm going to use the blue one. So I'm going to attach the blue color again, and I am going to slip stitch twice, 1, 2, actually one more, 3. Now we are going to work 1 picot stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go back to the first stitch, first chain, and slip stitch. Now you are going to go to the next stitch and slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, work another picot stitch, chain 3, go back to the first chain and slip stitch. Now on the next stitch, slip stitch and slip stitch 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and put on the wrong place. It's right here. And 4, 5, and 6, and work another picot stitch. So just keep repeating this, 6 slip stitch 6 times until you get to the middle of the next shell stitch, and then work 1 picot stitch. So once you get here back to the very beginning of this round, you just go ahead and slip stitch on the very last stitch or very first, and then you can cut the yarn, fasten off, and also you can go ahead and weave in all the ends. This is your final project and how it should look like. I will put a picture of these cupcake holders with some cupcakes on it. And you will see how cute it is. And if you decide to make some of those, please make sure to tag me on my Instagram. It's Craft Co's Designs. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification button, and if you liked this tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up. It will help me a lot, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye.